Hello everybody, it's Elizabeth with the New Light Moon Oracle, here for full moon in Aries reading, which the full moon peaked a couple hours ago. I hope you got to see the beautiful full moon last night. It was kind of overcast here, so the moon has been so beautiful all week long, but last night kind of missing it, but I was by a bonfire, so that was nice. I hope your week has gone well. And in a second here, I'm just going to pull a few piles for us to do this full moon reading. This Aries energy combined with the Libra energy is an interesting combination of fire and then an intensity, and then the calming, balancing of Libra is a nice complement together. So just tuning into all the people on the call currently and anyone that might be joining later to receive insights from this reading. I ask for clear and understandable information in everyone's highest good. Last one. Okay. Take a moment. So thanks everyone for being here. In a minute we'll pull a few cards. Just take a second and tune in and see if one of these piles resonates with you. Beautiful. Okay, so we'll put the right pile and the middle pile aside for now. And we'll start with the left pile. So left pile people, your card for this full moon is the Dragon Emperor, ruler of the four seas. I think we've seen this card last reading as well. And then behind you we have Dumu, the Queen Lady of the Chariot. And before you we have the Rest card, Sleep Rejuvenates. So let's start with the Dragon Emperor card. Again, some resistance to this beautiful ruler card. And it's primarily about ruling your emotions, like allowing your emotions to flow, allowing yourself to feel, and really letting those feelings kind of move through you and not be attached to those emotions. Dragons in the Chinese folklore, they rule water, they rule mist, rivers. They're not like this fiery Aries that we're in right now, but rather they bring storms. They're rulers of oceans, and all the primary quality of this card is this pearl here in the dantian. It's sort of like bringing all your energy into your navel chakra, into focus where your feeling center is, and allowing yourself to root down, allowing yourself to be centered in the storm, or not allowing the storm to really phase you, and understanding that it will pass. If you're like most people, you're probably feeling many things right now. There's quite a lot of activity happening, but just to trust that like a storm passes, like the ocean waves move in and out of each other, that this is all movement and this is all going to flow. This Dragon Emperor card, they sometimes say the dragon is the tiger of the heavens. So you have the tiger on the earth plane, on the physical plane, who's the courageous, strength, and powerful creature. And then in the heavens you have the dragon. So This is a really potent spiritual level card of harnessing and witnessing your spiritual power, the strength of your own eternal spirit that is infinite and that comes to the physical plane temporarily, very briefly, to manifest and learn and grow, and emotions are part of that. So, left pile folks, enjoy your Dragon Emperor card for this Aries full moon. And coming into this Emperor card, we have the Dumu card behind you, Queen Lady of the Chariot. So she's paired with the Ox Zodiac, who is pulling her cart as she travels around Ursa Major. In this card, you see the Big Dipper behind her. These stars are the 9 sons of heaven, including these invisible ones who she gave birth to. So Dumu is a celestial queen. She's very centered. She's very, the Ox Zodiac kind of represents this plowing ahead. It's very steady work ethic, lots of discipline, lots of just steady movement in a certainty, in a driven and focused way. So you're coming from this, and then, with the Emperor card, some emotions, some fluctuations, things have been coming up, and you're moving into this card, this well-needed card of rest. So the water card is the one card in this reading that's an element card. These are more spirit level cards, and this is dealing with 5 elements. And here we have this water card, beautiful water card, asking you to take a break. The water cards really, again, parallel with the water we see with the dragon card, who rules water. It's also, water is a very spirit level, very deep element. It's a very old element, the oldest one, as we all formed from water. And we form from the stillness of water. From stillness, activity can emerge, but you have to have the stillness, the quiet, the rejuvenation. So this is the Sleep Rejuvenates card. So really take some time to nurture your body and recover from all the past action. So left pile folks, this is your full moon in Aries reading for this full moon cycle. Now we'll move on to the middle pile. Thank you for watching, left pile people. So my middle card people, we have for you, your card is the Rainbow card, Chakras Open, Take Flight. And then behind you we have the Clearing card, and Decluttering Opens Heart and Home. And then before you we have the Retreat card, Chang'e, accompanied by the Jade Rabbit. Let's start with your Rainbow card. A little resistance to the sun coming into middle card people. Just let your sun shine. Allow yourself to really, right now there may be some forces around you that are perhaps having a hard time, or maybe are not so comfortable with your sun shining so brightly, with your, seeing you with your chakras open. There's maybe some heaviness around you pulling you down. Just give yourself permission to be like this. This is like a teenager, young youth, just really emerging, coming out, the rainbows, like all the colors of the rainbow, all the colors of the chakras open. We have the sun here, we have the moon here, so you have this beautiful yin-yang balance and everything in harmony. So it's up to you just to embrace your sun, embrace your cosmic light, your pure divinity, and just allow your radiance to shine through. And that means having an open heart and loving and accepting yourself. So with that energy, we'll look at the Meadow card behind you again. Maybe there needs to be a little more clearing. So you're coming out of this decluttering place, and there was some resistance to this decluttering The clearing card is a metal card. Decluttering opens the heart and home. So for you middle card people, I do see a need for some openness. And that means you have to like do some self-examination. You're going to have to really, when stuff comes up, don't just shove it down. Don't shove your emotions down. When you feel fear, when you feel anger, when you feel things that you don't understand, just take a moment and really examine that, really look at it. Just have a little bit of space to be like, why am I experiencing this? What's really behind this feeling that I'm having? And really look at it and allow that to transform and neutralize. That's really what this clearing card is about. We see in the picture the front porch of a physical home with some boxes piled up and a broom. So actually cleaning house is a really great way, or letting go of those things you haven't worn for a few years and that you may never wear again. Cleaning supplies you've had in your cupboard for 15 years. Just taking the time to kind of move that energy out, donate it, recycle it, let it go, and allow some fresh new energy to come in. And see how much better you feel during this full moon cycle if you actually take that action. So you're coming from this place of decluttering. And the metal cards, again, is similar to the previous reading. We see two high-level spiritual cards in your reading, middle card people, but behind you we have this metal card, which is an element card, the only element card in this reading. The metal cards do deal with kind of a separation. They cut. Metal is like clearing, it's separating, it's dividing, and it's understanding that you can compartmentalize some things, you know. You can sort things and choose what you want to keep and what you want to let go. And in this process of choosing, that really allows more space for your light to come through, for you to embrace what you truly love in the world. And then for you middle pile people, we're moving into this beautiful energy of the Chinese moon goddess Chang'e. And she lives on the moon with her jade rabbit, who is pounding out the elixir of life. You see, it has in its paws the elixir of life. So, and she lives in the crystal palace, so there's sort of this transparency in her home. And this card's really about that inner space, like allowing yourself, sort of what we've seen in the previous two cards. I kind of feel like this is such an integrated reading in a way, where you you notice what's coming up for you, and you clear it, and you let your light shine, and you take the personal space for yourself to really understand yourself and understand what your desires are, what your passions are. Taking this time to really go within and consult with the moon and your intuition and your the less overtly accomplished, you know, all those things that are kind of valued on the earth level, like more going into your inner resources and your inner strength and understanding your purpose here and why you really, what really brings you joy and brings you love. So beautiful reading for the middle card pile people. And again, there was some resistance to these two, so just allow these energies to sort of transform, and that starts with just taking a little bit of action, a clearing action. Think of one thing today you can actually move out of your physical space that will help you sort through your energetic space too. So happy full moon in Aries, my middle card people. And moving on to the right pile. Just take a moment to connect in with my right pile. Friends who are here today, your card for this full moon, you have Kuan Yin. Compassion and Forgiveness is your card, my right pile people. And behind you we have this karmic wheel. And before you we have intention. Wow, such a synchronous kind of parallel with all three readings, in that we see, again, we see these two spirit level cards and then an element card. And in this case, for the right card, right pile people, we have the fire element showing up. So let's start with Kuan Yin. And Kuan Yin, she's the goddess of mercy, as the Jesuits called her. She's kind of sitting in this lotus flower, which is symbolic of the purity rising through the mud. She's pouring from this vase and has the willow staff behind her. And the moon, of course, is there as well as a symbol of intuition and light. So Kuan Yin is just this merciful compassion and forgiveness. There was some resistance again to this, so I'd take a moment, right pile folks, and think in your life who really needs to be forgiven, what circumstance, what person, especially if it's yourself. Can you be easier on yourself? Can you forgive your choices, your actions, where you are in the world? But yeah, take a moment and let's do a brief sort of forgiveness ceremony for you with Kuan Yin. And just close your eyes for a moment and hold in your heart anything that's burdening you, anyone that you really find it difficult to forgive, and just put that person outside of your space and hold them in the perspective of them as a small child, and see if you can see them as a small child, if you can see their behavior, if you can see their emotions, if you can see whatever resentments you're holding against them as that of someone who is a small, innocent, and also ignorant child who's operating from a limited level of wisdom. And see if you can forgive that child now for whatever actions that happened to you. Then just release that child, and if you feel any cords, just pour some golden light in the cords. We're going to make some separations and pull those cords out of your space and allow that energy to go back to that person, event, energy that's separate and in the past. And just fill up with some gold for you. All my right pile people, if you fill your aura with gold or any beautiful, brilliant color that feels appropriate for you, that'll fill in the space where we shifted this energy today and hopefully allow more forgiveness into your life. And when you have forgiveness, you can breathe. When you have forgiveness, there's space, there's room. There's room to create something new. Things aren't frozen and stuck. So that is the beautiful energy of Kuan Yin. And behind you, my right pile folks, we have the karmic wheel, cause creates effect. So this is beautiful Dharma chakra, which is the Buddha wheel. Buddha is a representation of the Buddha. You have these 8 lotus petals. Again, we see the lotus petals, and the 8 lotus petals represent the Eightfold Path of Buddhism and the actions that will lead you to enlightenment. So the karmic wheel really is about like your actions create karma in the world. So for your own sake and for the sake of the world, it's best if you can take a good action and put positivity in the world, because that will generate more positivity. If you have negative emotions, it's really helpful for you if you can clear those negative emotions, or you may end up taking an action that causes negativity in the world, and that in return will return to you, because that's karma and that's the physical plane. But karma is, frankly, it's easily, well, maybe not so easily sometimes, but it can be cleared. It's not fate, it's not destiny. It's It's the trappings of the physical world, and just as tangible as they are, they can also be let go and released. So you can spin the wheel one way, or you can spin it the other. So as easy as it is to turn yourself around, you can actually, in physical space, you can turn your actions around too. It's a conscious choice, and consciousness is the way to change your life. So you're coming from this understanding of karma, and the card for your full moon is compassion and forgiveness. And then I get this sense that it's a really big full moon for you, right pile people, to just release a lot, burn it up with this beautiful fire card, and then that allows you to set a fresh intention, a fresh new intention, and then it says deliberate commitment. So once you really commit, you're really decisive, you have your action, your direction that you're going. It's simply a matter of taking the steps into that action, into that place that will allow you to go where you want to go. So there was, with both of these cards, right pile people, there's some resistance to both of these cards. So again, if you can just allow yourself to let go whatever you need to let go in order to forgive, and in order to take a new path. Or maybe it's the same path with a different perspective, and then remaining on that path, like continuing up your steps towards your goal, and you arrive where you want to be. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and have a beautiful, beautiful full moon in Aries. I'm Elizabeth with the Inner Light Moon Oracle. We have our guidebook and decks for sale. Link is in the bio if you would like to give yourself a reading and use this deck for your own self-inquiry. And thanks again for being here, and many blessings to you. Take care, everybody.